Hello, it's a very exciting day today. I am unboxing my new TM6. So this is the day I've been waiting in order to open up my TM6, and I thought I'd share the experience with you, and also just to kind of share with any clients or customers that are going through this and they want to see exactly what's involved when you unpack your Thermomix. So I've got the box sitting here, which you can't really see. So I'm just going to go ahead and carefully open up the box. And the first thing that I find when I open up my box is the important please read. And we really do mean that. Please read the instructions here. The only thing that I would say that has changed since they've printed these is that it says to sign up for a Cook I Do account on thermomix.com. We now have a Canadian platform, so make sure you're signing up on cookido.ca. And also when selecting your language and country, do your preferred language, but your country should be Canada. So your country should match the platform that you've registered on. So that's just one important consideration. Also, make sure that we can connect to Wi-Fi. Make sure you have a nice, stable connection while we're doing the setup. And because what it does is it does a software update to make sure we have everything set up. So let's get to it. So I've read through this. Yes, and the other important things are make sure you schedule a get cooking experience with your consultant. Cook a few dishes, see how you go, and then create some dishes for yourself. Write down some questions that you might have and get in touch with your consultant. All right, so let's get to this. Let's open this up and let's see what's in the box. So when I first open it, I have a box here of some accessories, which is a lot of fun. So the first thing we have is the Varoma dish. So it's 3 pieces, all packaged separately. So there's our Varoma lid. We've also got a few other things here, but I'll focus on the Varoma to begin with. Here's our Varoma dish, which you see it has the air holes in it for the steam to escape. And we have the Varoma tray. So all 3 of these pieces get put together. So whenever you see a recipe that asks for the Varoma, this is the Varoma. So there we go. So there's piece number 1. What else is in here? Your butterfly whisk. So we can use the butterfly whisk, remember, when we're making the delicious risottos. You can make it in order to make the berry dream, kind of make like a mousse type of thing. And then there's tons of other recipes that use it. The most popular right now is the Dalgona coffee. So you can make one of those kind of whipped coffees using the butterfly whisk, which is great. Another important thing to remember with the butterfly whisk, never use it above speed 4. And it actually says it on the base to remind you. It says here max 4. So please remember that when you're using the butterfly. The other thing that we have, probably one of my favorite innovations from transitioning from a TM5 to a TM6 is the silicone spatula. So this is great. It also has the flat edge. So when it's on a countertop, the blade actually doesn't touch your countertop, which is really nice. So there's that. A new feature with the TM6 is that it comes with a splash guard. So any recipes, if you're using the high heat function caramelization or anything like that, this is what you put on, and you would put that on top of your lid, which I'll just put this over to a side and show you. And finally, we have the measuring cup. I remember with the TM5, it was a clear measuring cup. This time we've got the gray, and it might be black depending on kind of when you get your Thermomix. And it has the little feet, and I'll show you why that's important when we pull out our lid. So that's what's in this box. So I'll put this off to the side. Also, what's in here, very important, is your Thermomix manual. So keep that handy. That kind of gives you some instructions and some guidance if you have any, troubleshoot questions or anything like that. It's important to keep on hand. Now to the fun stuff. So we package these really well, actually. So it is pretty sturdy packaging, which is great. So it protects our precious Thermomix. And I'm just going to pull it out. And here we go. Here is the Thermomix, the TM6. Take it out of the plastic. There we go. So let's make sure that's positioned okay so everyone can see. So here it is. I'm gonna have to plug it in. I have to move it back a bit. Reach the plug. Okay, so everything, it's actually been sent to me in transport mode, and everyone actually, it'll be sent in transport mode. What that does is it actually protects the scales. So the bottom of your Thermomix, it has these feet. Those are the scales. So by putting it into transportation mode, whenever you move this, I would say, moving it counter to counter, like you're fine, you don't need to do it. But if you're ever going to take it in the car, take it up to the cottage, for example, take it to a friend's house, show them how amazing your Thermomix is, make sure you put it in transportation mode. So I can show you how to do that. So in order to get it out of transportation mode, it's super easy. You just turn it on. So let's do that. So here we go. See, the screen is going to forward. It is turning on for the first time. Pretty exciting. It's an exciting time. So it is showing me that it's come out of the box. So it knows that it needs to do the initial setup. So it's waiting for it to kick in and for me to put in the Wi-Fi information. So let's wait for that for a minute. Trying to think what else. I'll also show you before I sign off kind of how I personally store the Thermomix. So what I do is when I'm not using the Varoma or the butterfly whisk, I actually place it kind of inside, and that way I know where my butterfly whisk is at all times, because that is something that can disappear because it is a smaller piece. So that's important to make sure you know where that is. And you see here, it's just going through the process. It's just showing that, yes, I recognize we've just taken it out of the box. It will not take this long to start up after it's gone through the original setup. I would say give yourself maybe up to half an hour, depending on how many software upgrades it needs to run. So I would just let that kind of run through its course. So what I might do is I might pause here for a sec and then come back on when it's kind of done its initial kind of scan. Hi, we're back. So it just took a few minutes, and what it did is it finished doing kind of the initial scan, and then it switched back off, and then it turned back on, and the arms opened. So that's taking it out of transportation mode. And now it's asking me to choose my language. So I'm going to scroll through, and I would like English Canada. So I'm going to select that, hit the arrow, which is next. Where do you live? It's asking. So let's say, well, I live in Canada. So that's pre-selected. So say yes. So what it's actually looking to connect to a network. So that's what's required when we're doing the initial setup. So let me, it says connecting this machine to your network will open up a brand new way of cooking. How exciting. There are thousands of recipes waiting for you to inspire you on CookIDO. To access your favorite dishes on the Thermomix, all you need to do is follow the instructions on the machine. So let's do this. Let's search for networks. I'm going to find my network, and I'm going to put in my password. So I'm going to turn my back to you so you can't see it. All right, so I put in my password for my Wi-Fi network, so it's connected automatically, which is great. So I'm going to hit the arrow, which is next. So now it's looking for my CookIDO account. So you need to have a CookIDO account in order to access CookIDO, which I was saying. So I'm going to put in my the email address I use to register for cookido.ca. Here we go. All right, so it says welcome. So it's accepted. So I put in my password correctly, which is great. So now it's saying that my device is successfully connected to your CookIDO account. Please proceed with the next steps to finish your onboarding process. So I'm just going to hit the arrow. So it goes through, there's 10 safety instructions. So I'm just going to go through, read each screen. So I'm going to do this a little bit quicker. These safety instructions do come up periodically when you're using the machine. So actually, maybe I'll just go back for a sec. One really important thing to know is that your bowl, your mixing bowl, has a maximum capacity, and I think this is really important, and this is to avoid any injury and that type of thing. So you see here, there's that max, that's 2.2 liters. So your liquid, anything that you're cooking, should never go above that max kind of dot. And it also has markers for 500 mil, 1 liter, 2 liters, and then max at 2.2 liters. So that's important to note. The other things that I think I should show you is the new innovation with the TM6. It's the steaming basket. It now has a lid on it, which is great. It still connects, the steaming basket still connects with the spatula. Whoop. It's a little tight when you first start, but it actually is quite secure. So there we go. It's a little bit, everything is a little bit stiff, but it's new, which is great. But it will loosen up a little bit as we use it. That's good. Just going through the safety, the 2.2 liters. Something that you might want to know is that you can put the mixing bowl in the dishwasher, but if you're going to do that, I would separate all the components of your mixing bowl. So here we go, we have the mixing bowl, and see how there's the blade there? You can actually, so there's this is plastic, quality plastic. So this is what locks in your blade. So you can put the components, the stainless steel components, into the dishwasher. everything but the actual machine itself can go in the dishwasher. I would probably recommend not putting any of the plastic components into the dishwasher, just because I think that some of our dishwashers are quite strong, and over time you might see some deterioration and that type of thing. Everything is good quality, but you know, you spend a good amount of money on this, and you want to take care of it, right? So you can hand wash. I typically hand wash mine. So there it is, right, bright and shiny. In order to put it back together, so here you have your blade. Just remember that it has a sharp edge and a blunt edge. So all the sharp does all our chopping, dicing, milling, whatever you want. The blunt is when we do all of our stirring and that type of thing. So I'm going to put the blade back into the bowl. It just fits in. And then I'm going to put the bowl on the countertop, and here I'll show you. See here, the edge is off to the, I guess, my right, and I'm just going to snap it in place. As I said, it's a little bit new, so it does take a little bit of muscle to begin with. There we go, so that's locked in place now. So you see here, that's flush. That's how you know that the blade is locked in place. Another important thing that I would remember, never put the mixing bowl into the TM6 when these connectors are wet. Make sure that they are very, very dry, because that's what kind of connects to the computer. So there we go. So there's that. Also remember, very important with the Thermomix, if you're ever using the multi-level cooking, which I'm sure you're going to do quite a few times. So you put the Varoma, I'll show you, it doesn't have the mixing, the measuring cup in. You place it on top. So there, that's how it's probably cooking. When you take the Varoma lid off, turn it away from you. Turn it away, because then all the steam goes that way, rather, because if I open it up like this, all the steam's going to come on my face, and that's not pleasant. Another really handy feature is if you're going to walk this over to the sink, put the lid underneath the Varoma dish, and then that way you don't get any drippings on your kitchen floor. That's just a little tip I wanted to give you. Just going through the safety. And it's saying, remember, read all of your instructions. So now I've gone through all the safety instructions. It's just kind of going through probably to see if there's any other, to see how, saying, help us improve our services. We would like to better understand how you and others use Thermomix. So you can agree or disagree, but it's just going to collect information on how you're using your Thermomix. Sorry, I put that out of the way. So now, I think I'm ready to start. It hasn't said it needs any other... So basically, you know you're done. When you go to your settings, you go to your menu. Remember, you can... so this is how it looks, which has your time, your temperature, and your speed. You can swipe to the, I guess, left, and it has all your predetermined functions here. There's another screen, which is where you find the thicken. That's the last one, and then any new ones that come along will be on the second pre-programmed screen. You can swipe then to the right, and this is your Cook ID. So you would have signed up on Cook ID on your computer, perhaps, and you would have seen this screen. Well, now you have that screen on your machine, which is great. So remember, you can scroll through, you can find your collections, you can explore recipes, you can create recipes. So the really nice thing is that I was developing and my bookmarks and my collections, it's all here. So it's all just transferred over to my new machine, which is great. So there you go. You have all your recipes available. You can do the search. You can look at the saved collections, scroll through, that type of thing. And one other thing I did, so you remember you have your calendar, which is any planning for the week. I haven't done any yet. So that is that. So settings. If you hit the settings, you go through, it has your language, your country, your Wi-Fi, your CookIDo account. So this is where you'd see when your CookIDo membership is expiring. It'll tell you your last, or when you're going to expire. And then you can go online and renew and update. I was going to tell you about the transportation mode, remember? So you hit transportation mode, it just says activate, and what it will do is it actually locks everything into place. I'm not going to do it now because I still want to show you a few things. System of measurement, it defaults to metric. You can change it to imperial if that's what you would prefer to cook in. And then I think the rest of it's kind of self-explanatory. The display gives you your brightness, that type of thing. Sounds, you can change the sound, the duration, the volume, that type of things. Any preferences that you have about how your machine operates. Just going to go through the last few items that you get with your mixing bowl. So I went through the basket, which is great. I did say I was going to show you about the new measuring cup. So it will go onto your lid, flip in there, and it stays. So that's great, right? But it also lets the steam escape through. There's a little bit of a gap here. And then to get it off, you just kind of twist and pull in order to get it off. There you go. I think that covers it for everything from unboxing. So I am going to show you how I store my Thermomix, so I know where all my components and pieces are. So what I do is I have my steaming basket. I place my measuring cup in, shut that, place my steaming basket. Then I put my lid on. Then I put on my splash guard. Place it there. And now maybe I'll go into transportation mode and show you. Transportation mode. It just says that it's going to lock the bowl, and this is what it protects the scales, which you definitely want to do if you're traveling with your Thermomix. Hit activate. It says the bowl is locked. Perfect. So in order to shut down, press and hold the selector button. It says the Thermomix is going to shut down. So that's all locked, so I know that I can take it on my way. And I showed you how I stored the Varoma. I have my butterfly whisk inside, put on my tray, put on this. I actually put this underneath, put this in a cupboard separately. My spatula, I just have a drawer of spatulas, so that's where that goes. But that there then keeps kind of all those kind of smaller pieces together, just so you know. So that's my unboxing video. I am actually going to get ready to make some banana bread next. And I will hopefully hear from you. If you want to unbox your own TM6, please get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me at kimixcanada@gmail.com. Thank you very much and have a great day.